Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. We had a lot of wild action pre-market that set up for a pretty solid day with some names having some significant volatility. More importantly, there's a lot of trade setups to be looking at for the next couple of days and potentially a week or two out from here as far as getting ready and letting those trades come to us. We'll look at them all on the charts. So we'll do the technical analysis rundown, and then I'll go over a slew of trades that I'm keeping an eye on in the short term and over the next week or so. So starting it off, the streak continues. 12 days in a row with a higher low every single day for SPY. I thought today was going to be the day where that broke. Pre-market, we had news that J&J was halting their vaccine because of blood clotting issues in 6 patients. There's your dump pre-market. And then it was a short squeeze because anybody that went bearish on that news then got trapped by the CPI numbers that came out at 8:30. And it was the NASDAQ. It was very interesting to watch flip because I did all my pre-market preparation and I ended at 7 o'clock, and then all this changed everything. But we had the financial sector set to gap up, open to all-time highs, and QQQ was lower. Then we had all this pre-market volatility. QQQ opened up strong and XLF opened up weaker. So higher low every single day. That's the pattern we're watching in the short term. And again, we're going to consolidate in 2 ways. Fear with all of our markets dropping at the same time, fast and hard, high bear volume, or rotation, healthy. Some sectors go up, some of our major sectors go down, and we look for profits to rotate around in places that have not been seeing significant runs over the last 2 weeks. And we have comparisons of those 2 scenarios on this COVID bounce. Here is a massive bull move up. It was a green day every day, it felt like. And here is your fear reaction, fear consolidation, I should say, and high bear volume. Another example is here. Bulls in complete control, significant move up, overextended, and instead of a big drop on high bear volume, we just kept setting daily higher lows. That is rotation, lack of fear, continuation of all-time highs. Could SPY give us a daily bull flag? Absolutely. So we have financial sector earnings tomorrow, and Thursday is going to get the ball rolling for earnings season. And we're either going to see an XLF all-time high, or we're going to lose the daily higher lows. Those are 2 very different scenarios. But again, there's plenty of scenarios where everything pulls back and we see the fear style of consolidation, or tech pulls back, XLF sees all-time highs, or XLF and tech pulls back and XLV sees all-time highs, which would keep it in more of a rotation kind of consolidation. NASDAQ futures, 4-hour tightened up and then popped bull on that news this morning. And your convincing turnaround was pre-market. Dropped down right to support and then just a monster recovery for the bulls. IWM. So IWM is still trying to set a higher low. Again, I'm viewing it on the 2-day time frame, and I'm looking for a higher low compared to 208.03 and just viewing it as an equilibrium. Lower high is very clearly set. We're now scouting the higher low, and this tightening range could easily play out into next week and potentially beyond. So patiently watching to see whether we head back towards the lows or whether we play laggard and make our way to the all-time high, as many other names and sectors are doing. So financial sector hit the all-time high yesterday, but only by 2 pennies, so that is a double top. That being said, it's still a daily higher low pattern. Anything above 34.47 keeps the bulls in control. So earnings are going to be very key because earnings are going to confirm new all-time highs in continuation or lose the daily higher lows and keep a weekly double top in place if it's a bearish reaction to earnings. So again, tomorrow and Thursday, key for the financial sector in the short term with their reactions. Healthcare is at all-time highs. Double top at all-time highs today. But again, we're still right there, and the bulls are still certainly in control. So all of our major sectors are just fine for the bulls, and it's just watching how we consolidate from here. Biotech sector still weak, but a base of support. 4-hour falling wedge absolutely has our attention, because if we are going to see profit taking, we are going to be looking at the sectors that have been consolidating, and this is a sector that's been consolidating for a couple months. 4-hour falling wedge Base of support established. Just looking for anything under 139.81 to be a lower high on the bounce. Have to break this bullish and confirm a daily trend change for the first time since all-time highs for something to change. Aggressive bulls are playing off of 126. Inside bar today has to break bullish tomorrow. But again, anything under 139.81 would just be a daily lower high next time we bounce. SMH. Still a potential bull flag. Again, condense it to the 2-day time frame. And we are defending support. So the low was 250.89. And we broke that, but only by pennies. Daily EMA 12 is trying to catch up. So no red flags at this point. NVDA is stealing the show with 2 monster days for the bulls. And the rest of the sector is not seeing that same kind of strength. But they are holding well. And again, we're right under the all-time high. It is cup and handle psychology. And we'll see if we confirm it. I've been seeing a good amount of cup and handles. We had the 12-hour S&P 500 cup and handle from a week or two ago that saw follow through. Today, QQQ on the 15-minute time frame had a real nice 15-minute cup and handle. So high of the day, consolidation, double top, bull flag, and go. Question is, will SMH follow? TAN, similar to the biotech sector, XBI, weaker sector, not seeing any love with this insane market strength. So again, XBI and TAN are poised, and they're saying, hey, we've been consolidating. We're building a healthy base of support. Come bring your profits this way. We'll go up next. If there's fear, they can drop to lower lows. If there is not fear, we watch for rotation. Bulls need to break the high of today tomorrow to get a bounce going. 8107, and again, 8107 is support, and the 2-day time frame is the most clear for me as an equilibrium, trying to set the high or low compared to 8107. MSOS, also trying for the high or low. Bulls not proving anything. If the inside bar breaks bullish, 44.68 is the most important resistance. Bulls have to prove the trend change for the first time since the all-time high to show a shift in momentum. The VIX is a daily bear flag heading down towards the low of 1620. If 1620 breaks, we're still looking at the base in the 13s from pre-COVID. And our new resistance is 17.9. Topped out at that level the last 2 days. The dollar is still weak. Broke the triple bottom down at 92 with another leg down. 4-hour lower high is extremely clear. Every single bounce is a 4-hour lower high since this consolidation started, which is a good sign for the metals bulls. The weaker the dollar, the better for the metals. Gold trying for the daily high or low. We need to break 1759 for the daily trend change to take place. From there, we would get a bull cross of the EMA 12 and 26 for the first time since the last notable bounce that we saw. And also, I had something else. Oh, we need the 4-hour trend change. So we can just go straight to a higher high, but if we pull back, have to change the 4-hour trend to change the daily trend. Silver is the same thing. 4-hour a bit extended into resistance of 25.62. Plenty of space for a 4-hour high or low. Nice increasing bull volume. Daily trend changes needed. GDX, right at resistance. So if the metals do confirm that daily trend change, we'll be looking for the miners to follow through from their weekly trend change that has already taken place. And again, it took place because the broader markets are so strong and they're just being held back by the metals at this point. And if the metals follow through, we will expect a bull break of 34.85 for miners to follow through as well. Oil, sideways still. Inventory report tomorrow. 6 days in a row trading within the range of April 5th. Not really getting any information and patiently waiting for a break of the range of April 5th for some information. Natural gas negating the weekly bear flag. So we had the bear break with a lack of follow through, inside bar, bull break. We're heading up towards 2655 key resistance. And if we reject, the bulls have some space to try and set a daily high or low compared to that level. So, Tesla swing went well. Exited half in the afternoon at 258. Swung half of what I have remaining. And I will certainly be all out of that position tomorrow, especially if we gap up open, because that would be our third gap up open in a row. No hourly consolidation at any point today. Very overextended overall, but no red flags. So the trades, there's a lot to be watching, and I will go through a little bit of a rundown. So here is Tesla's chart, and burn this chart into your brain temporarily, because there are a lot of charts that are doing this same setup. And Tesla broke out as beautifully as you could hope for. And if you told me that Tesla was going to hit 760 over the next 5 days on this swing trade that I took, I'd say great. And it did it in one day on increasing bull volume. So this is your ideal breakout from this pattern. The pattern is your low of the March dump, significant bounce, fade and give back the majority of the bounce, head back up and fail the high of the March bounce, top, and then bull flag and go. It's the psychology of a cup and handle where you fail resistance, you bull flag, and you go. So what charts look like this? Well, NIO is in the same sector, but it's much weaker. So we're watching other EV names, which are all weaker than Tesla, and they're all looking at Tesla and saying, I hope we act as laggards. I hope we see some profit from Tesla trickle into our names, because this is the same setup on NIO. The biggest difference is we need 10% to break this resistance, and then we need another 20% plus to break the second resistance level, whereas Tesla had those two levels 1 point whatever percent away from each other, and we took them out on the same move. So watching for laggards in the EV space in names like NIO. Look at this chart for ARKK. It's the same chart as Tesla. We just broke bullish today on the increase in bull volume. 130.80 is the next level that needs to break for the follow through. But now let's look at ARKQ, which is autonomous technology and robotics. It hasn't made its move yet, but it's the same Tesla chart. So you look at this chart, and you pull up the Tesla chart, and you move it so we don't see today's action. Can you tell me which chart is which when I do this? Well, not when my screen freezes. The point is, they are the same chart. You cannot tell the difference. So ARKQ bulls need a spike in volume. That is definitely what's missing. Spike in bull volume, break of 86.93 and 88.33 to try and follow along in the footsteps of Tesla. Who else did it? MSTR, crypto play. A little bit different shape, but same concept. Low of the March dump, high of the bounce. Give it all back, but hold the low. Fail to break the high. Little bull flag and go. Massive volume. This has to do with the coin IPO. Bitcoin hit an all-time high today. And the coin IPO, it's not an IPO, it's a direct listing, but it's going to start trading for the first time publicly tomorrow. And there's a ton of hype around that. I will be trading coin. I will be watching very closely, especially with how much hype there is. So if we see a pullback like we see on many IPOs, Airbnb had a great first day for some people and then closed weak and then dropped for 4 days. When you find the all-time low once something has listed, and it's the scales. So we started here for Airbnb and supply of shares outweighed demand for 4 days. And then once it flipped, that was the all-time low, and we ran very significantly. You will find many IPOs that do that. They bottom out, they set their low. Here's Dash. Fade, bears in complete control, build a base of support, the scales tilt, and you go up 100% in a couple of weeks. So I'm watching for the scales to tilt. And the biggest difference between why is it not an IPO, it's direct listed. There's no underwriters. The banks aren't, setting the stage here. It's essentially just starting to trade, and all employees and everybody that holds shares can instantly sell. So the question is, does demand outweigh supply of shares on the first couple of days of trading? And we'll have to wait and see what it looks like. So again, I'm not looking to invest. Maybe if we see monthly consolidation in the crypto space, I would then be looking to make a longer term entry in something like coin. The couple things that I don't like, innovation's coming, competition is coming. So just like our brokers went from $8 trading fees to $6 to $5.43 to $0. Real quick they went to $0. That was because of competition. Everybody kept undercutting each other, and that's going to happen in the cryptocurrency space. So Coinbase is seeing all of its revenue from huge trading fees, and that will change. We will see competition. We will see an exchange put out a flat base for fees. And someone trying to trade $100,000, instead of having to pay 4 figures in fees, if it's just $10 flat in fees, all the big money is going to go to that exchange and leave Coinbase. So competition and fees undercutting each other are the biggest risk to Coinbase business model, in my opinion. Biotech sector, I am absolutely interested. Again, we need to see a lack of fear when the market does consolidate, but that falling wedge is a good one. We're looking for a monthly high or low. We have EMA 12 support on the monthly being tested. So XBI has my attention. A real aggressive bull is making an entry and playing off of 126. A patient bull is saying, I don't care if you bounce. I'll miss the initial bounce. I need the daily trend change setup if I'm going to be interested. Other names, other trades to be watching. Amazon, Facebook, Google, Apple. All of our major tech names that have been running, Google and Facebook, have been at all-time highs. We are watching for first hourly oversold conditions. That's a back burner trade. So I look at a name like Amazon. We're nowhere near that happening. Why is it called a back burner trade? Because this trade is not in play right now. But I put it on the back burner, and I know that when that trade comes to me, I'm watching for it. Tesla or Amazon and there's a bearish candle on Amazon, but Amazon and Apple have tons of space for a daily high or low, and we're watching for first hourly oversold conditions, and we're going to add NVDA to that as well. NVDA all-time highs, monster 2-day move on its investor day, and we are watching for first hourly oversold conditions for a high probability trade. The only thing that would make me not take one of those trades is if the broader market was in fear mode with all of our sectors at the lows and a lot of red volume. But in the absence of that, we will be watching for some nice day trades on hourly oversold bounces on these names. The metals, I'm watching those for their daily trend changes. It's key that the rest of this week as to whether they can confirm those trend changes or not. And of course, the coin IPO, I'll be watching that closely over the next few weeks. One more here, just like Tesla. So here's Tesla's daily. Again, TLT. Same chart, condensed. It's a little bit different. Low of the dump, high of the significant bounce, fade and give a lot of it back, fail to break the high of the bounce, little bit of a bull flag, and now they're trying to go for it. So again, this pattern is everywhere out there. Tesla is the ideal version, with the most ideal part being the increase in volume and obviously the follow through. And the question is, are the other names going to follow? Set those game plans, write it down, stick it next to you. That's a lot to remember. If you write it down, you don't have to remember any of it. Do good things. Have a good rest of your day. Wrong window. Right window. Peas are starting to climb the chicken wire. They're both sugar snap varieties, but the variety on the left is clearly much slower and smaller than what's on the right. Planted some privacy bushes on the border with the neighbor, so we got some lilacs and rhododendron and azalea. We'll watch those grow over the next few years. Wildflowers. How am I supposed to mow that? Onions in the greenhouse continue to fatten up. Everything else has gone to the pollinators. Leaves are starting to fill out slowly.
lilac bushes and the cypress tree.